Hey, Collective. So I just did a reading that when I went to replay it, the sound wasn't there. So that's fine. I'll take it as a sign that I am not meant to post that one. So we'll see if there's another reading for someone here. What did I want to tell you? Somebody asked me about timestamps on my videos. These are timeless, okay? So if you get a message from me that I did 2 years ago and it lands on your page today, most likely it's because you were meant to see it. Okay, so it's irrelevant what date I performed the reading. Just recently, there was at least 1 or 2 of my really old videos that were recirculating again. So the time at which I perform the reading does not matter, okay? But also, if it lands on your page and it doesn't resonate, it's not yours. Just scroll on past, okay? So I don't want people to like make a reading fit their situation. If you're not already intuitively connected to it, then it's not your reading. Don't make it yours, okay? We're not in the business of feeding anybody's delusions here, okay? That's not what I'm trying to do. All right, here we go. Let's do a reading. The Seven of Wands. Of course, I always want good things for you. I hope the reading is wonderful, but sometimes they're not. Sometimes they're not that great. Okay, and other times the reading can just validate that I'm in your energy. Okay, so there's no guidance provided, but there's a validation in it somewhere for you. Okay, Seven of Wands came out. The Devil is here. Oh, he's been coming out today. Devil's been coming out to play. It's not always a bad card. I know, it kind of denotes something terrible, but it's not always. Judgment in the reverse. We all have a shadow side, okay? We all have a shadow. You need to be able to integrate your shadow with your light. Death in the reverse. I talk about that, about duality. I'm not saying you should be a sinner and like, oh yeah, you're a sinner, that's part of who you are, like do that. No. But what I'm saying is recognize your shadow self, okay? If you have that ability to recognize your shadow self and do the shadow work, it just makes you that much stronger, okay? We'll just go ahead and start. We got these 4. Seven of Wands, the Devil, Judgment in reverse, and Death and Rebirth in the reverse. Somebody's a dog with a bone here. Someone is fighting their point tooth and nail. Dog with a bone. But what's interesting is with Judgment in the reverse, avoiding responsibility, self-judgment, guilt, regret, weakness. This person doesn't even believe what they're saying. This person doesn't even believe their own message. But because the Devil is here, and if we look at our shadow side and we look at our ego, this person is going to fight tooth and nail, is going to drive this point home forever and a day because their ego is not letting them admit that they might be wrong. That's that Judgment in reverse. And this person is also judging themselves. They feel like, I should have... Here's the thing. You can change your mind. You can change your point at any time. That's not a weakness. But this person is literally looking at, I've sold this story. I've committed to this message. And even though I know it's wrong, I cannot admit that. I cannot admit defeat. And this message actually comes through quite a few times in my readings. It has lately. There's nothing wrong with going back and recalibrating or rethinking something or, maybe doing a little bit more research and being like, you know what? I can see your point. There's nothing wrong with that. We have all at one point, probably at many points in our lives, thought about something incorrectly. Or you don't know what you don't know, right? You didn't know what you didn't know. So rather than ride this point home when you know full well that it ain't correct, it ain't maybe the best way to look at this, maybe just say, you know what? I need to think about this differently, or, look at this resistance. This person is stubborn. So, collective, if this isn't you, the listener, this is somebody in your energy. Someone in your energy is like this. They will drive that point home till doomsday rather than admit that maybe I could look at this differently. I'll never understand why people do that. It's okay. It's totally okay to change your mind. It's not weakness at all. It shows you've got a brain. It shows that you are using your critical thinking skills. It shows your ability to grow and to learn. Like, that's not a weakness. That is a strength and a half. So, but we got somebody who is this is their personality, okay? They take it, they run with it, and they don't want to change. And that's why this reading is coming out. It's for that person, okay? That this is not a weakness. You're looking at this wrong. But I can't tell you that because you'll be like, oh, I'm never wrong. We can be wrong. We can be wrong, and that's okay. Knight of Swords in reverse, impulsiveness, neglectful, thoughtless, misguided. This person's totally misguided. And whatever it is, however it is that they're trying to drive this point home, with whatever that means within the collective, they're so impulsive and just so reckless with it. This person is very, very stubborn. They don't want to look at this any other way. That's when you stop growing. The moment you think you have all the answers, or you know everything, or you're correct and you could never be wrong, that's when you stop growing. You might as well just give up now. Like, that's... No. I'm sorry. That's my personal point of view. Let's all be open. The High Priestess. Interesting. The High Priestess was right underneath the Devil. The light and the shadow. Did I or did I not say that's what we were talking about? Like, this is like your dark and your light, your shadow self. I know it's hard to look at it is very hard to look at ourselves and look at the things that are maybe a little unbecoming, okay? But it's the best thing you'll ever do. Look at your shadow self. Look at it square on. Square up, okay? Face it. Face it head on. I mean, I'm giving you that guidance. It's coming through as guidance from Spirit. Or if it's not you, like I said, someone in your energy collective. Give them this guidance to look at their shadow. There's nothing wrong with that. We all got to do that. We all should be doing that, I feel like. We all should be. King of Wands. Yeah, and you know what? This person, this person is very smart. Okay, they're very smart. They're very passionate. And when they feel a certain type of way, they go for it. And there's no shame in that game. That's a beautiful thing. You know, this person leads by example. But there's, like I said, there's a shadow side that needs to be addressed here. And there's nothing wrong with that. There's nothing wrong with it. Okay? Nothing wrong with it. Yeah, look at this. This person will fight with everybody and their brother. Conflict. This person's aggressive. They're a fighter. This person has a lot of people opposing them, perhaps. A lot of people that they have to defend against. And it's all because this death and rebirth, and it's all because their resistance to change this, or resistance to look at this about themselves. Okay, this is why this is happening. Yeah, there you are again. All this impulsive energy is overall. Knight of Wands reverse. This is so impulsive. This is like, yeah, and disagreement. This person gets into a lot of disagreements. All because... And you know what? Even if this person might truly believe that they are correct, it doesn't mean you got to fight the whole world for your opinion. Okay? Everybody's allowed to feel and have their own viewpoint, as do you. So it's almost like I want to say, save yourself the burden of the battles, of this opposition. Okay? If you truly do believe whatever this point is, go with it, but live and let live. Right? Live and let live. I love you, collective.